Nke Uwape, Aku Sineni, wherever we are around the world. And as usual, this is Koiki Media live. In the second day of June, 2023. And if I look at my time, it's just coming up to 3 o'clock local time in London. Sometimes I play 1,500 hours. At 1,500 hours at 3 p.m. It's the same time. Lomi, a very good afternoon and happy Friday to everyone around the world, especially as the world is different time zone. My little time, see Mofefe saw or Lawson is based on the press statement conceived about our list. Bọ̀ká tó ṣe mo dúpẹ́ fún ọba Elédùmarè, ọba àjọkẹ́ ayé, àṣàkẹ́ ọ̀run, ọba tó ní wá, ọba tó dá wa dáadáa, tó ní ká máa bẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ Yorùbá. And we will continue to exist even after every one of us have departed this world that we are living. We are all on a journey, and at some point, everybody journey marathon. But the reason why we are praising, the reason why we are praising Eledumare is because we have been now be able to have a conscious mind. But those of us that are agitating and asking for the right to self-determination. The right to self-determination is not something that we should be shy away from. Mo ṣe yin Ọlọ́run ni àwọn Mùsùlùmí á ní èní Friday wá ní Barikadi Jimoh wá dẹ̀ máa dáhùn pé Assalamu alaikum wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Àwọn Kìrìsìtẹ́nì náà ní adúpẹ́ fún Jésù Kristi tí wọ́n ń pè. Yeah, pick up the, no, yeah, come closer, come here on the floor there. This one here, yeah. So, àwọn oníṣẹ́ ìṣàmà ní eriwo àyàgbó àyàtọ̀. We are a blessed people. We are not a MixLR. I tried to connect it with my device, but the device is not picking up. So it might be nice to go along the MixLR. One of the devices is not picking my hotspot, and I'm not in the house. It's a very beautiful sunny day. If it's windy, as much as I want to take off this jacket, but the wind is also picking up. Hopefully, we'll keep about Akalamagbo. I will not be able to read comment because the screens are blurred due to the reflection of the powerful energy. Mo lọ bẹ́ẹ̀ mo tún kí Ọlọ́run ọba tó ní mí tó ní gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá. There are some Yorubas that think that the Yoruba nation will just end because there's a Yoruba president. And I say it's not a Yoruba president. Bola Tinubu is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Okay, I was looking for this phone. I thought I left it at home. So we can start the last Instagram. Motiwati titi tolo madam moi. I was thinking that I left that phone at home, but I didn't realize that I be paper press statement. Lower. So so we are now full. Moki Bugwale can say we are streaming on 5 devices. So I have 5 mobile phones in front of me. One is going to what they call the Koiki Media and the Koiki Media Odudua page. One is going into Koiki Media Odudua, which is like an account. Any other Koiki Media, I don't know about them. And one is going on the YouTube, and we have 2 Instagram that is running parallel, simultaneous to each other. One of the Instagram is called Olayomi Koiki, which is my personal handle. And the other one is our business Instagram, which is called Koiki Media. Any other thing apart from those pages that I've mentioned, and apart from my new Koiki Media TV YouTube channel, and I want us to go and check that out as we will continue to upload varieties of content. My job every day from a media perspective is to dissect and talk about, yeah, I told you before. What did I tell you before? What did I tell you before? Okay, so don't take that. Bisle, bisile. Mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pé mo ṣe ń kí Ọlọ́run ọba tí ó ní wá. I'm just trying to get us settled down a little bit before we go into the conversation. What am I going to talk about today? You okay? Very good. It's called the press statement. Who is this? Some of you might have come across it. Some people might not have come across it. You don't want biscuit anymore. Yeah. Just please. Just don't. It doesn't. It's not. Reject. You want? No. Okay. I. What am I? Eh? No, they'll come here. Don't worry. Yeah. If you throw it there, they'll come to you. That's it. Yeah. Keep throwing. They'll come to you. Don't. Mom, we don't just leave it alone. Yeah. Yeah. Throw it to them. This press statement. Professor Lori, the Nigerian media like to twist. They are not representing ọmọ kí bàbá wa àwọn Fájèmí Adékúnlé ẹ má bínú mò ń try láti, yeah, I have to sit like this because it's either sometimes you have to accept the way the broadcast goes or we don't do any broadcast. My focus is on my CCTV. Tó wà níwájú mi. My voice is more than enough to pick the conversation. If not, I couldn't make it this morning because àwọn mi kún àwọn ọmọ wà níwájú mi nílé nígbà tí àwọn ti lọ síbi iṣẹ́. I have to take care of them, and we also have some family friends with us, and we are now into at the park. But yeah, come and give them more. Take another one. So that's the reason why I know that I should. Yeah, feed the bed. I know I should be facing the sun, but like I said, I am facing the other way around. But it's just a manage it. So èyí tí mo fẹ́ discuss lé lórí òun lélẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin, mo kí ìyá tó bí mi lọ́mọ, Akọ́lá Jímọ̀, mo kí gbogbo àwọn Mùsùlùmí tó ń bẹ lágbàáyé. This way is more than enough now, no more feeding. Last one. No, ẹ̀yà kẹlọ ṣeré. Èyí tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun ni statement yìí. Ẹlòmíì ò mọ tán pè ní press statement. Ẹlòmíì ò mọ tán pè ní press release. But àwọn pépà Nàìjíríà, mo kí ìyàwó Agbẹ́mílékè, mo kí owó ẹ̀yẹ tó wà nílé, mo kí bàbá Kúnlé Ṣítà, Tokyo 778. I won't greet anybody anymore, but Mama K win as I take a little bit from the passage later. Statement yìí tí mo fẹ́ kà ẹ́, this way, go and bring that, go that way. Lọ mú ẹ̀yà kíní ẹ̀rọ tó wà já ṣáà tó jábọ̀ ẹ̀. Bye-bye. Yeah, come pick it up. Pick that up for me. So, yeah, come this way. Èyí tí mo fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí òun ni. And I've been, we couldn't join the Star Radio this morning as well. So, I've literally been busy látàárọ̀. So, Interdema sorry lórí yẹn. Oh, very, very important. I'm still going to do another one later on in the night. Chika Maloli. Chika Malosili. But I thought, no more biscuit. Don't give them any more biscuit. That's enough. They're not wasting biscuit. But I thought we should talk about it. No. So that we can understand that Nigerian media, they're not for Yoruba nation. Being a Kabani Nigerian media is for Yoruba nation. You're wasting your time. They are not representing Yoruba nation. They are not for Yoruba nation. Muki Prince Gabriel. So sometimes Baba Akintoye will release a statement and they will twist it. But it's also our own job to correct the narrative. So narrative, if I explain, but like I said, I have to match it properly again later on when I get back home. I can just the same way I go with a lot of my letters as a journalist. I move with so many things. Torí àkímọ̀bí tí wọ́n ti pàdé èèyàn kan tó máa ní kí lẹ́tẹ̀ ń ṣe gan òun máa ń gbúrò yín. Come back this way. This way. This way. Tó máa ní kí là ń ṣe màá ní Yorùbá nation ní. But torí mo ní printer nílé, so I do print a lot of all these things. So lẹ́tà tí a kọ sí Buhari, kọ́pì ẹ̀ lílé tó ṣì wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀mí. Ẹlòmíì ò ní kọ́pì ẹ̀ mọ́. Ẹni tó bá dẹ̀ fẹ́ kọ́pì ẹ lọ sórí koikimedia.com. Mo kí àwọn Koiki Media ti rẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ takuntakun. If you want a copy of the letter, see, I communicate with Buhari in August. That is the copy. Eléyìí tí dórí Koiki Media website. This is the new letter. Tactical C, the president-elect, no, not elect, President Bola Tinubu. Some of you don't know that a letter has been communicated to him. But the Nigerian paper, Timothy Car, ó ti twist ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. So if you face analysis lè lórí díẹ̀. Ẹ rántí pé in August, àwa la jàkàrà Buhari because Buhari thought òun ló máa jàkàrà wa. Àwa la padà jẹ àkàrà Buhari. So Buhari received the letter. We're going to talk about that later. But the focus of this letter is all right. Òun ni lẹ́tà tí a kọ sí lẹ́tà tí a kọ sí Tinubu òun fẹ́ discuss lé lórí. Tinubu ti gba lẹ́tà wa, but wọ́n ti ń twist lẹ́tà yẹn. Àwọn mo kí yèyé oge. Sọ yẹ ká fi ti lẹ́tà Buhari yẹn sílẹ̀. Ilé ìrafẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ yìí lórí nísìn. Like I said, pé mo ti rí kan náà Koiki Media team mo post ẹ̀ sórí page wa lórí ti àwa media ẹ̀dá ń gbé lọ sínú ti Koiki Media group so that kí àwọn tó ì tí láǹfààní àti kà is a PDF ó dáhùn pé mo rí kan náà boys mi nísìn ẹni tó bá ń gbọ́ mi nínú yín bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ gbé lẹ́tà yẹn ẹ lọ jù sínú Koiki Media WhatsApp group so that fáwọn tó bá fẹ́ ní copy náà èmi máa ń like tí bá rí nǹkan báyìí ká print ẹ̀ èmi like n feel nǹkan lọ́wọ́ I love feeling the paper journalists don't like ìkákọ̀ kankan lórí screen a máa ń fi feel ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ká dissect ẹ̀ nínú ìnáwó àwa mú pen a máa fi so this letter was dated a day before my birthday which is 30th of May. No. So, I just like I said, I'm not worried about what activities are in the background. We do broadcast from anywhere, and there will be noise sometimes. Sometimes there will be quietness. And not, no. Èyí tá a ṣe lánàá àwọn kan náà wọ́n lójú mi mo ní kò ń ṣe gbogbo wa náà lè máa lójú wa náà àwọn kan wà lórí mixela in the last 2 years hardly lọ́ọ́ máa fi ń lójú. They sit down there for hours and hours ráńpẹ́ pọ̀ ní ẹ ti kú ó ti indicate so ẹ jẹ́ kí n disconnect ẹ̀. Tẹ́ bá ṣe ń gbọ́ mi ní orí broadcast Koiki Media not other broadcast ẹ jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ because I've disconnected the airport. So let's go into that letter quickly. And then Mawa explain later a little bit further. Sherry number 1, te wanle mo kàn fi reference nǹkan kan. Bí mi ṣe jẹ́ Koiki Media, tí bá fẹ́ communicate letters anywhere in the world, tí kò bá ti sí crest mi lórí ẹ̀. Mo kàn fi jẹ́ kí lè kó yé àwọn tí wọ́n mọ̀ tán pè ní letter. Ẹ̀rìn náà ni ó ti kọ lẹ́tà ó ti fún wa ní lẹ́tà. No. Lẹ́tà yìí nísìn tẹ́ ń wò yìí ó ní emblem YSDM lórí. I know you might not say it properly, but at least you can see the logo. This indicates that this letter is not something that anybody can just project. No. This is a letter that came directly from YSDM. So, tabari ruleta beyen. It is important to know that this letter was was released by YSDM. So letter yẹn ni èmi fẹ́ treat ní wákàtí fanfan náwọn tí wọ́n gbọ́ wa. Like I said, eléyìí sọ pé fóònù ti overheat, òrùn yẹn ti pọ̀ jù. YouTube yẹn sọ fún mi pé fóònù yẹn fẹ́ overheat. Ṣé ẹ kí sáré kà? I don't know how far the phones are going to hold because of the weather. Yoruba self-determination movement. Address méjì ló wà níbẹ̀. Ó ní address US kan, ó dẹ̀ ní PO Box Cotonou, Benin Republic. Email address info@ysdm.org. May 30th, 2023. And I go straight into it. On this historical occasion of the inauguration of our beloved brother Asiwaju Bola Tinubu as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, I, Professor Banji Akintoye, the Chairman of the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, for and on behalf of the overwhelming majority of the Yoruba people, home and in the diaspora worldwide, who seek self-determination and sovereignty of the Yoruba nation, deeply, sincerely rejoice with our brother on the fulfillment of his political ambition to preside over the affairs of the Nigerian state. Exactly 8 years ago, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and dedicated assistant to another Nigerian citizen, enabled that citizen to rise to these same positions of the President and Commander-in-Chief of Nigeria. Therefore, none of us citizens of Nigeria can now say that he does not deserve the same elevation for himself today. Indeed, his elevation of the presidency of Nigeria against all odds that we Nigerians are painfully familiar with, and against all the man-made quotations of order that characterize Nigeria, demonstrated clearly the tenacity of the spirit that characterized his political career. These men made contortions of order, demonstrated the fundamental bankruptcy and the essential non-sustainability of the Nigerian state, which our brother must now lead. It is particularly noteworthy that all the electoral cycle under the successively fraudulent constitution of Nigeria since 1959 have ended up unalterably in controversies that are irresolvable, and that are ultimately never resolved. The same scenario remains today. Nigeria stands at this moment in a devastating pain of an unresolved nationality problem. As a highly prospective leader of another African country remarked recently, the nations of Nigeria strangely choose to keep Nigeria as one country. Today, Nigeria stands at a grave moment when the nationality problem and the hatred have been fearfully aggravated by the decision and efforts of one of Nigerian nation, the Fulani nation, to conquer, break, subjugate all the other nations of Nigeria. We stand at a grave moment when there will be conquered. There will be conquered. Nation is still killing, maiming, and destroying, still seeking to make Nigeria the bloodiest war zone on the African continent. We have experienced fully 8 years during which there will be conqueror nation has enjoyed total freedom to carry out its invasion, killings, destroying across the face of Nigeria, while enrolling the service of the terrorist organizations in the invasion, all with very obvious complicity by the government and the security forces of Nigeria. With a very loudly announced invitation by the President of Nigeria to non-Nigerians to come migrating from all over Africa to Nigeria without any travel documents. Huge masses of hostile non-Nigerians, all ethnic kinsmen of the will-be conqueror nation, have been assisted to flood into Nigeria in order to reinforce their nation conquest of Nigeria. We, the Yoruba, have lost an estimated 29,000 of our people to these rampages. Countless Yoruba women, countless Yoruba women have suffered the degradation of being raped by the invaders. Famine has been destroyed in large swaths of the Yoruba land, and our whole Yoruba nation now faces the danger of devastating famine. In fact, the will-be conqueror nation once embarked on a loudly proclaimed effort to starve out the whole Yoruba nation by blocking the Lokoja Bridge for days against trucks that were transporting food products to Yoruba southwest of Nigeria, raising the finger against the crime. But these are not all that the Yoruba people have suffered in Nigeria, ever intensifying cauldron of inter-people's hatred. Under a system of limited self-government and federalism in decade, presiding Nigeria independent in 1960, we Yoruba achieved such a great development and modernization that made our region the pace setter in the modernization, not only in Nigeria, but in all of Africa. We instituted the first free education program in Africa, built the longest mileage of the modern highways in the most urban water supply project, the first industrial estate with an ambitious industrialization program, the only investment capital structure with holdings in industries, banking, real estate, and commerce, many large plantations producing crops for industry, various skills, development centers for our youth, etc. But Nigeria's culture of inter-people's hatred has almost totally destroyed all of these. Though Yoruba people were confidently living in a growing prosperity by 1960, most Yoruba people now belongs in Nigeria, horribly cultured of poverty, which is growing worse and worse. Yoruba educated youth confronted by Nigeria hopelessness are fleeing abroad at a terrifying rate, thereby creating a serious threat that their Yoruba nation could perish in Nigeria. Against this background, we Yoruba people remain firstly convinced of the reality of the non-sustainability of the Nigerian state as a vehicle for galvanizing, translating the inheritance. No, when we get home. We determine that the bottle by the Yoruba creativity must be released so as to generate the impetus to reenact the historical dynasties for which our Yoruba nation was famed in the past. The more the Yoruba nation remains stuck into the trap in the vortex of the Nigerian trash machine, the more stagnant, backward we Yoruba people will become. Accordingly, we Yoruba people state categorically that the political realities of the one Yoruba presidency over Nigeria cannot possibly alter the continued bondage, retrogression of the Yoruba people in the cauldron of the heavily devalued Nigerian state. The Yoruba nation would never submit itself to unending citizenship in Nigeria that is irretrievably held in the deep dungeon of more and more poverty and hopelessness. Therefore, we Yoruba nation reaffirm our decision to negotiate with Nigeria the creation of our own and separate autonomous political and economic space outside the framework of the now illegitimate Nigeria state. I want us to be taking note of all these statements. I'm going to repeat that part. Yes. I'm going to repeat that area because that area has been retwisted by some of the media in Nigeria, at least the one I've read. Therefore, we Yoruba nation, our Tafe Yoruba nation, reaffirm at that Sokpe affair, in our affair, our decision in Tojetiwa to negotiate with the Nigerian creation of our own and separate autonomous political economic space outside the framework of now illegitimate Nigerian state. I'm still going to do a little more analysis of these, But let me just read everything through for now. We Yoruba have repeatedly stated this in our letters and petitions to the United Nations organization, as well as to various governments of the world, including the Nigerian government, which was this letter that we sent to the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, Sebaba. In particular, we have stated as follows: above all, we Yoruba concluded irrevocably that the agenda of the war of conquest and subjugation by one nation that is part of Nigeria against the other nations of Nigeria, and the said nation's invitation of the foreign terrorist organization to come and help to wage war against the other nations of Nigeria, all with the obvious complicity of the federal government of Nigeria, have idiotically violated, conclusively eliminated the unity and the legitimacy of Nigeria as one country. We Yoruba have therefore concluded that we have the legitimate right and duty to separate our Yoruba nation from Nigeria. But again, the paper Timoka has twisted almost everything. Kote Fuani details si Baba Akintoye koi. Oko redraft todotie. We Yoruba are prepared to attain these goals through negotiations with the Nigerian government, either on a bilateral basis that is between our Yoruba nation and the government of Nigeria. Let me say this for the quickly before I go a little bit into the letter, which is almost like, this is like the last part. There is no way that you want to come out of a country, you're not going to negotiate with the government of that country. So if anybody say, negotiate pẹ̀lú Tinubu, then how do you want to get out of Nigeria? Báwo lẹ ṣe fẹ́ kúrò nínú country tẹ́ bá negotiate pẹ̀lú that same government? So we have to negotiate with Bola Tinubu to let him know that we will leave Nigeria. But one thing is, as many people would like to twist this press statement, I will take the next months and weeks, just as we did pẹ̀lú lẹ́tà Buhari. Ẹ má worry pẹ̀lú gbogbo noise tẹ́ ń gbọ́. This program will still be on later on tonight in a well quiet environment, but for now, just bear with the noise and everything within the surroundings. We Yoruba people, or we Yoruba, are prepared to attain these goals. Nígbà tá ti sọ pé a fẹ́ jà, tá ti sọ pé a fẹ́ gbébọn síta tí a ní, torí Nigerian government ní agbára gan. Nigerian government is a very powerful government, whether we like it or not. Nigeria is a Benin Republic. We have about less than 500,000 military and soldiers and DSS. There's about billions of dollars or billions of naira ni wọ́n fi ṣe budget military. So ní capacity láti bá Nigeria jà. But the only way that if you bá Nigeria jà ni pé either negotiation or we go through another method. Method yẹn òun làwọn Irish lò, mo máa discuss it, because ní April mo tètè rí kíní yẹn wọ́n discuss nípa the peace mo kí bá Prophet Ogundele priest kíní kan tó ṣe ní April tí Tony Blair, Bill Clinton and everything about the IRA. Gbogbo alamọ bí IRA ṣe deal pẹ̀lú British nígbà tó máa lọ, you know. But tá bá sọ pé a fẹ́ negotiation, de ká lọ máa prepare fún irú tí àwọn IRA ṣe. Mo ní láti máa fi gbogbo ẹnu sọ̀rọ̀. Tó bá mọ tán ṣe, lọ sórí Google, kó lọ sórí YouTube, kó type in IRA, wàá mọ tí wọ́n ṣe fún UK, tí UK fi sọ pé kó máa lọ pé àwọn ilé yìí ó máa dá wà lálẹ́. So, màá repeat it again. We Yoruba people, or we Yoruba, are prepared to attain these goals through negotiation with the Nigerian government. Ṣé Buhari la fẹ́ máa bá negotiate nísìn when Buhari is no longer there? Buhari has left, is no longer in power. Tinubu ló wà níbẹ̀. So it is our fundamental human right to write him a letter and tell him the reasons why we want to go out of Nigeria. But already one twisted pé ẹ̀yin tá ń dúró fún náà ní pé kí Tinubu débẹ̀ káwá endorse ẹ̀. Mo rò pé gbogbo tí mo ti kà látẹ̀ nǹkan nínú lẹ́tà yìí, press statement yìí, ó indicate pé Baba Akintoye endorse Tinubu, but we have so many illiterate and gullible idiots to Anibe that are going to twist it. I'm going to turn it around. But Elomio printed that the she printed by Elomio te Monty Baba Akintoye ko ka paper dem kon to ba won sinu headline one. We Yoruba are prepared to attain these goals through negotiations with the Nigerian government, either on a bilateral basis, that is between our Yoruba nation, in our Tafe Yoruba nation, and the government of Nigeria, or on a multilateral basis that brings all or most of the constituent stakeholders. We are also a stakeholder in Nigeria. Stakeholder Niwa, just as all the other 250 ethnic groups. Táwọn tó kù bá náà fẹ́ Nigeria, our stakeholder kan sọ pé a fẹ́ Nigeria mọ́, a dẹ̀ fẹ́ negotiate ọ̀nà wa kúrò nínú Nigeria. But does not literally mean that Bola Tinubu will accept. Does not mean that your governors are going to accept, but we must continue to negotiate with them through bilateral and multilateral. Gbogbo ẹni máa ṣe breakdown when tabawa lórí full broadcast nílé nínú studio. We have stated these in various ways to the federal government of Nigeria. That was stated to Buhari. This letter was sent to Buhari in August. Ele tó wà lọ́wọ́ mi. Ele la ṣe kọ sí Tinubu. But already they are twisting the conversation, and I know some of those gullible idiots, especially on don't follow Iya Janwe yẹn. So because I already been seeing one of them, you know, they are not interested for me to mention them in my broadcast, but everybody knows them. He contain treaty letter yẹn, but mo rò pé orí letter ilé bí i torí social media ni. But like I always say, these are not journalists, you know, they are just ajakara. See, what our social media. Ajakara they are to journalists. I am a journalist and I'm different from every single one of them. We have in the failed Nigerian project around one negotiating table. We have stated these in the various ways to the federal government of Nigeria, and this communication of ours to the Nigerian federal government remain our firm, unalterably demand to Nigerian state. Unalterably. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè yí padà. Yorùbá nation ò tí kú. Kò sí pé torí Tinubu débẹ̀ àwa ṣe Yorùbá nation mọ́. Àwọn irú wa gbẹ̀gìrì wa tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó dá kankan mọ̀. They are just not understanding how things work, you know, from the perspective of the global world. Ọ̀nà mẹ́ta ni tí kò bá ti lọ ní ti ọmọlúàbí á di gbàgbòs abọ́ sórí M1 nìyẹn. Nígbà tá a bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bọ́ sórí M1 bí tàwọn Irish Tinubu máa sọ fún wa pé ká bọ́ sórí table ká wá sọ̀rọ̀. That was why 25 years wọ́n sọ fún British, wọ́n sọ fún Prime Minister pé peace agreement tí wọ́n ṣe ní 25 years ago ní 1997 pẹ̀lú àwọn Irish kó try kó make sure pé wọ́n ṣì maintain ẹ̀. Tó o bá mọ̀ tó ń pè náwọn IRA máa bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kó lọ sórí Google. Tí Tinubu ò bá ti fẹ́ kájọ jókòó sórí round table, tó bá dé stage kan a máa bọ́ sórí M1 ni. Àwọn tó mọ M1 ti understand nǹkan tí mo sọ ní bíbá. Ó máa di gbàsgbòs ni kò sọgbọ́n ẹ̀. Gbàsgbòs á dẹ̀ máa jà kò ń ṣe gbàsgbòs ní àjọ máa jókòó pẹ̀lú Nigerian government. Wọ́n máa yìnbọn fún wa níbẹ̀. No. IRA dealt with the British. Moki must be Morilogo anything. So let us get that message. But for now, we are still negotiating. For now, we are still, you know, doing the bilateral. For now, we are still discussing. Nobody should be scared of what is about to start. Ama boso du titi pada. Ama bere protest wa. Ama bere rally wa. Ama bere campaign wa. And nobody can stop it. Not even Bola Tinubu government can stop that. It is our fundamental human right. It is under the United Nations, and we will come back out. Oti wole nisin, right? So our job now is to wait for instruction from the YSDM to say, rally ma jáde, Kigbo wo dẹ̀ sọ pé yes, rally ma jáde ká bọ́ sójú títì. Kò dẹ̀ síbi tá ní gbé rally lọ, à ń bọ̀ l'Ékòó, à ń bọ̀ l'Ógùn State. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ni, kò ń ṣe ilẹ̀ Hausa. So let me just finish reading this up, you know. So we have stated this in the various ways to the federal government of Nigeria, and this communication communication of ours to the Nigerian federal government remain our firm, unalterably demand for the Nigerian state. And this is the last paragraph. Tony's signature Baba Akintoye lórí. In conclusion, so gbogbo tí mo ti ń kọ alátẹ̀nkan yẹn breakdown ẹ̀ lélẹ̀ ẹ má bínú pé reflection yẹn kò is because bí ṣe jókòó ni tí bá jókòó ní bí ṣe fẹ́ jókòó gangan, you know, I will not be able to see my CCTV tí ó wà níwájú mi níbí báyìí because I work with CCTV all the time. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ní ojúlé alákànfin ṣọ́rí lẹ́yìn ọmọ Yorùbá náà sọ. So I cannot be saying because we are doing Yoruba Nation kí wọ́n disconnect CCTV tó wà níwájú mi. I have, you know, multiple CCTV and my eyes is always on the balls. And I live here in London. And nobody fi pàdé mi anytime. Lẹ́yìn tí ẹ máa ń ní bí ẹ̀sán lórí ẹ̀ka àti sọ́jọ́ ká máa pàdé ká pàdé ní Trafalgar Square lójú gbangba kó dẹ̀ jẹ́ lọ́wọ́ sùn. We fear nobody, we only fear Elédùmarè. Mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mi the real now. In conclusion, màá digest the letter bit by bit. This letter from our own page now. Ní kankan ta fi sọ mọ́ nísìnyí letter tí Baba Akintoye read sí Tinubu yìí. For the next, as long as I'm satisfied, kò sí topic kankan mọ́ ju eléyìí. Just as ẹran tí bá ṣe treat ti Buhari. Ṣé Tinubu máa respond? Ọmọ Yorùbá ni. A mọ̀ pé Gàmbàrí ni Fúlàní. Kò Buhari ò respond. But ṣé Tinubu máa respond? Ṣó máa ní kájọ jókòó kájọ wo kí la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe? Yeah, what and what, but the most important thing tí Baba Akintoye kọ sínú lẹ́tà ni pé kò sí nǹkankan tó lè yí padà because mo ti sọ fún yín Tinubu 8 years ni. We get it later, okay? Ṣùgbọ́n? We get it later, okay? All right. So, you know, you're not playing anymore. Go and play. So, in conclusion, in conclusion of this statement, we the Yoruba applaud. Mo máa ń sọ nǹkan kan fáwọn èèyàn. Ṣé rí Dúpọ̀ Onítìrì born bastard olórí burúkú woman. This way. Water is here. Òun ni ó fẹ́ fún wa ní impression pé nítorí pé Tinubu fẹ́ jẹ́ president a gbọ́dọ̀ hate ẹ̀. No. Ayọ̀ Brown, ìyá wa Ayọ̀ Brown. Mo ṣe fún wọn ní respect. Mo ṣe fún wọn lápọ́nlé. Àwọn wà lára àwọn tó fẹ́ destroy pé torí pé Tinubu máa jẹ́ president àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá gbọ́dọ̀ hate ẹ̀. Ẹ má bínú pé àwọn ọmọ Oòduà àtàwọn ọ̀rẹ́ wọn níbí bá. Ìyá Fúnkẹ́ Bello, Àjàkáyé, Florence Abajakara, Queen B drug dealer, gbogbo yín pátápátá born bastard. Ẹ fi pé torí pé Tinubu di president àwa gbọ́dọ̀ wá di ọ̀tẹ̀. Báwo lẹ ṣe wá fẹ́ kúrò ní Nàìjíríà? Ṣé ẹ ní nǹkan ogun tẹ́ fi bá Nàìjíríà jà? Let me say this clearly. Kò sí bí. Stop that. No, don't do that. Drink it and leave the table. Stop it. Okay, wọ́n ní gbọ́lẹ̀ nǹkan mo mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. Bisílẹ̀. So, Tinubu or not Tinubu, we are not wishing him death, but we are telling Tinubu official letter ti jáde nísìn. Instruction that kan dúró dè nísìn ni pé kó sọ pé tó bá ní rally máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ next week ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè dá dúró mọ́. Buhari ò sí níbẹ̀ mọ́ nísìn Tinubu ló wà ńbẹ̀. Kò sí yàtọ̀. Tinubu is the president, is a commander-in-chief, but he will listen to us whether he likes it or not. Violent ò sí nínú nǹkan tá à ń ṣe. We are not terrorists. Bó bá wọn DSS kọjá lè títí tá bá fẹ́ jáde tó bá tún wọn kọ́ yìnbọn pa wá gbogbo ẹ̀ náà ni ó máa bọ́ sórí Tinubu because for everybody tó bá pa nísìn which we don't pray so Tinubu will be held accountable for any death èyí tí Buhari ṣe kò ní bọ́ nínú ẹ̀. So in conclusion of this statement, we Yoruba people applaud the noble assurance which our brother is our brother, but direction tó ń lọ làwa sọ pé no àfẹ́ direction yẹn ṣebí ẹmọye years tí Tinubu fi gbé ní London tó fi sá kúrò tó rọ fẹ́ pa òun náà àwọn Abacha Tinubu was living here. So in táwa náà ṣe lénìí kò wà against kò rú òfin kò wà against any international law, neither ó wà against anything. But ẹ mọ̀ pé because this bastard woman today, ó ti fẹ́ fún àwọn kan ní impression pé no, kò ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe jẹ́ kó lọ onígbẹ̀gìrì woman. Òun ló fẹ́ fún wa ní this, you know, this impression pé ní bá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ṣe bọ̀ ẹ kàn máa lọ declare. Lẹ́tà ni bàbá kọ nísìn tí a dìmú báyìí ta filẹ̀ olórí burúkú rẹ̀ ó náà ti kọ lẹ́tà sí gbogbo àgbáyé bombasta ẹni kó kọ́pì wa ní email ibi tó kọ sí. Àwọn wo làgbáyé tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ olórí burúkú woman. But mo pity ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jáde kẹ má listen sí lẹ́tà eléyìí gangan nísìn ni pé a ti ní òǹtẹ̀ míì tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìrìn àjò yìí in another phase because official ló ń pe lé àti fún Tinubu náà official letter kó lè bá mọ̀ pé mo rí àwọn Christian kìíní kan náà wọn náà endorse Tinubu olúkálukú ló ń kọ lẹ́tà sí Tinubu nísìn àárẹ̀ àwọn aláwo náà fẹ́ kankan olúkálukú máa sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ kankan so èyí táwa náà fẹ́ nísìn òun la submit fún Tinubu yìí ẹ̀yà fẹ́ ambulance yẹn kó lọ. Eléyìí tí àwa náà fẹ́ is now in a letter. Statement tẹ́ rọra ń wò yìí òun ló ń pè ní eléyìí ló ń pè ní document tó ń ṣe document kí n yà rẹ̀ gbọ́ mi Fátókẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ̀kù náwó ọjọ́ èèyàn wà Nàìjíríà tó fún mi lówó can you imagine kò ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà ló lò ṣì àwọn tó rí ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ akọ̀ ń bẹ Ọlọ́run pé kí gbogbo aka má jẹ́ pé lóṣì tá a máa tọrọ owó ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn Nàìjíríà ló wà is doing very well kò sínú politics kò ṣòṣèlú ó dẹ̀ fún wa lówó birthday bó dẹ̀ ṣe ń fún wa ní gbogbo wa nìyẹn mo dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo ẹni tẹ́ fún wa lówó náà a dẹ̀ ṣe ń gbà ẹni tó bá fẹ́ fún wa voluntary ni. ṣe rí lẹ́tà yìí eléyìí gangan ló ń pè ní document tèmi ok ti Buhari lélẹ̀ ti bàbá Akíntóyè lélẹ̀ ẹni kí Tinubu ẹni kí ti Dúpọ̀ ní tirọ́ ẹni kó mú tiẹ̀ wá ká lè mú dání ká lè digest ẹ̀ kí lè break it down fún yín kó lè ṣe yẹn ẹ má ẹ̀kọ́ rí template olórí burúkú kan tó gbé dání ìwọ tó wà ń lé tó ń sọ pé ṣé Yorùbá nation ti kú ìrìn àjò yẹn túṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ padà a ti wà lórí ìrìn àjò yẹn bọ̀ eléyìí gangan ni pé a ti kọ lẹ́tà officially sí Tinubu nísìn. Okay? We will buy it. Amara, mo ti gbọ́. Àbọ̀rọ̀mọ̀ yé nísìn eléyìí this is the official to state that a communication has now gone through to the president. Mo follow Sudan as at this morning. What is ṣe tán pè ní United Nations Resolution Council, Security Council. Wọ́n bẹ̀ àwọn méjèèjì nísìn. America ti ń sanction nísìn. Some of you don't understand how the world works. When we are not fighting yet, no. When we are not fighting, we are not fighting yet. We are not fighting. So we don't have even the firepower to fight. Àwọn kan ní ẹ ìwọ ti dáwó fún yín kẹ́ fi ṣe this. Okay. Yeah. Àbọ̀rọ̀ mi yé nísìn. But a lot of people don't even understand how the ilé ayé how it works. Ọ̀nà méjì ni. You continue to dialogue and negotiate. IRA negotiate ara wọn kúrò lára British or lára Britain because they don't want to be part of it anymore. Hi. Don't touch it. No, leave it. Wọ́n kúrò lára Britain, but Britain of air law, the whole UK of air law, but you know after the negotiation of work, they turn into a guerrilla warfare. Our till they stage the guerrilla warfare. We pray it doesn't get to that stage. You know, Tinubu can give us and say, okay, let's see how we will make it happen so that kò ní sí ẹni ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀. That's what she like to say, and the process might take some time. Only take it 1 year, only take it 6 months. But any meeting between the Yoruba nation representative and the federal government is going to be outside the country. It's either going to be at the African Union, European Union, or the United Nations. That is how the process is done. Kò ṣe pé kíyàn kọ́kọ́ dé ní àárọ̀ ọjọ́ kan tó ní òun mo kí ẹ ń bẹ̀ wá látà mo kàn rí bàbá nìyẹn má dẹ̀ ti rí bàbá nìyẹn mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n nìyẹn. Àbárò mi yẹn nísìnyí. So this is how things work. Not to say àti gba country Ọlọ́run ti ṣe Ọlọ́run gbọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run ti Ọlọ́run ló ṣe. I mean, are we stupid people? We are not stupid people. We are not dumb. Ọlọ́run ti ṣe Ọlọ́run ló máa ṣe Ọlọ́run ló ṣe òun ti kọ lẹ́tà sí gbogbo àgbáyé àgbáyé òun ló ń kọ lẹ́tà sí ìyàwó èrè yẹn tó ń deceive yín adé sọ fún mi pé kẹ́ ṣe sùúrù. Ok, ṣé tí taba ok ó fẹ́ kúrò ó náà ń declare ṣé kò dẹ̀ fẹ́ negotiate pẹ̀lú Tinubu ọ̀nà wo ló fẹ́ gbà? I don't understand it. Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí is saying that òun ti gba Yorùbá nation fún wa but kò ní negotiate pẹ̀lú Tinubu, the present government. How is that going to work? Òun máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ interim government, òun máa ṣe this, òun máa ṣe that. Ó kàn sọ gbogbo kìíní yẹn, At first we thought that she was a sensible woman. Àwọn realize pé ó ti ní àrùn ọpọlọ. This is how things are done international wise. Kódà tẹ́ mọ̀ pé bí Russia àti Ukraine ṣe ń jà, Russia sì gbọ́dọ̀ respect human rights. Ukraine gbọ́dọ̀ respect human rights. But wọ́n kàn lè máa ṣe tán pè ní disrespected at some point. Kí lẹ rò pé Ukraine ṣe ń run as a government? Ṣé fi pé Russia kò ní bomb tó lè jù sí Ukraine lẹ́ẹ̀kan gbogbo ẹ̀ máa blow dànù? But kò tí ì dé stage yẹn ni. But ẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Putin ọwọ́ ẹ̀ ó gbé sórí nuclear weapon báyìí ni. So negotiation continue with any government outside and inside. You can't just say mo ti gba country fún yín and that means that a kò máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ interim government. Kò dẹ̀ ní bá government tó wà in present. There's a government in present. Government kan wà in place bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ nísìn. Àwọn máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjọba délé, àwọn máa ṣe kinní kan kinní. I didn't sọ fún wọn pé it doesn't work like that. The first stage in anything is communication. You send your communication. Okay, òun náà ń communicate pẹ̀lú àgbáyé. Why is it difficult for her to release that communication? Kí ló dé tó ṣe ń difficult? Okay, òun bá àgbáyé sọ̀rọ̀. Ó dá copy wa kárí àgbáyé tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn. Ṣé wa ṣe rí tó bá tẹ̀jẹ́ pé lóòótọ́ ló ń bá àgbáyé sọ̀rọ̀ ṣe mọ̀ pé ó ti tà wá nìyẹn because àgbáyé tó ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ àmọ́ tó negotiate pẹ̀lú wọn on our behalf. Àmọ́ tí bàbá Akíntóyè negotiate nísìn and this is why this statement must not be twisted by anybody. My job is to now make sure pé statement tí bàbá Akíntóyè kọ yìí ó máa yí ẹ débi pé kódà máa ní kó ṣe translation ní Yorùbá máa dẹ́ni kó kà síta ní Yorùbá tá máa gbé sórí page wa. Èmi ò ní ṣe kankan mọ́ nísìnyí because this is a statement. This statement now gives me confidence. Tí UK government bá wá mú mi láàárọ̀ ní sí pé kí ló tẹ̀ ń jà fún gan àwọn bọ̀bọ̀ ìtàn náà ń pariwo lórí social media wọn ò fẹ́ dọ́gun sílẹ̀ wọn ò máa ra this màá ní no. Mo ní lẹ́tà látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn bàbá wa tí wọ́n ní àti bá government wa sọ̀rọ̀ pé a fẹ́ lọ. Ẹ sọ fún Dúpẹ́ nísìnyí pé kó fún yín ní lẹ́tà wọn náà ti gba lẹ́tà látọ̀dọ̀ UN. Ṣé mọ̀ pé lẹ́tà tó gbà látọ̀dọ̀ UN kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ inú yàrá ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ti type lẹ́tà yẹn kódà wọ́n bí tó bá ní lẹ́tà yẹn ẹ sọ fún Ṣóyẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ pé kó fi lẹ́tà yẹn sórí screen tó bá ní logo UN Dúpẹ́ Onítìrí máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n l'Amẹ́ríkà tó bá gbé UN logo lé lórí ó máa ṣẹ̀wọ̀n àti Ṣóyẹ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀ àti Ìjìnlẹ̀ àti gbogbo wọn because that means pé wọ́n ti infiltrate UN nìyẹn ẹ mọ̀ tó ń pè ní UN ni ẹ kọ́ gbé logo UN ẹ gbé sórí kinní ó dàbí pé kíyàn fraud nìyẹn náà ó dàbí ẹni tó lọ sólúwọlé nìyẹn. So gbogbo lẹ́tà kan náà kọ yẹn èèyàn kọ lẹ́tà ó ń lo Gmail ẹ wo lẹ́tà táwọn bàbá Akíntóyè kọ nísìn it's called info@ysdm.org. Mo communicate pẹ̀lú àwọn journalist board wa ní UK ní bíbá bàbá yẹn wá ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ à ń sọ̀rọ̀ bọ̀ ó ní kí n sáré send kankan sóhun nígbà tó máa ní kí n send ẹ̀ kò lo Gmail ó lo organization email. And we are saying to people that it doesn't work like that. Èyàn ṣì ń lo Gmail. Èmi gan tí mo jẹ́ small business. Tí bá fẹ́ serious pẹ̀lú àwọn international community. Kódà àwọn event kan wà ní UK tí bá fẹ́ lọ. Wọ́n máa ní tó bá ti ṣe pé company email. Wọ́n ní accept it. Because that means pé Gmail ṣe mo mean Gmail ṣá. Gmail is a personal email. A woman is using a personal email. More content letter more than last year. Do not circulate. But because the reason to move letter and sit because at the end of the day, that is not an authentic letter. A an authentic letter. An authentic letter means that Ogboro logo, Ogboro Cresty organization is number one. So do quantity Otiya Babawiri. Pelon show a code of one at Wally. I materialize people they are not even up to the standard. I want joke on what 7 hours program, 10 hours program. The government you run this alley. And I think we job daily sita. Our we talk when be only drug dealer. Are we talking so pé only Gugwala Loma Kosi? No, one because I want go in accordance. Ninga to bataba to Alori M1. Cherry Gogole, I'm a passenger. Not about Barawada, back. So the M1 here, don't do that. Don't do that, Biba. Hello, Brenti Britain. Hello, Brenti England. Can I are chefun? One bomb Bushereni. Nima to Yalonika was on the round table. April look 25 years. 25 years of that peace agreement. We don't need to go through that stage. We don't need to be violent. We don't need to go through that area. And this is the reason why a letter has now. So what more Yoruba to say say e montan se, iwo lo montan se, awa montan se. Because letter is missing. Authentic way Yoruba nation is alive. It has never been dead. Because nigba ti transition fe lo, kawa na jade soju titi. Kawa so pa fe overthrown government. Ṣé overthrown government la wan se ni. Abe mo pé ta ba ti so pa fe overthrown government, ó tún ní clause níta under international law. Kawa sọ pé Koiki ntemi nse terrorism ni mo nse ní UK. Ẹ mọ̀ pé tó fún mi ní confidence ní bíbá tí mo fi ń sọ̀rọ̀ lójoojúmọ́ torí pé kò nse terrorism ni. Ẹ fi pé my fire mo tí mo nse ni. So tí àwọn idiots yan bá mọ̀ tán ṣe, èmi mọ̀ tèmi ṣe. You know. Pé a máa jà yẹn ìyẹn nse ní kò nse ní issue. Tí British bá sọ fún mi pé mo sọ pé a máa jà, máa sọ fún wọn pé ṣé aya ló bá yín jà. Ṣé wọ́n bá yín jà. Evidence there wà. So in conclusion, of today's statement, we Yoruba applaud live program properly. The noble assurance which our brother, the new president of Nigeria, uttered in his inaugural address. We refer to the following statement in his address. In Tip Tinubu Solele, Ti àwọn bàbá, ibi tẹ́tí máa pọ́n bàbá tí ó ní làákàyè nìyẹn. Tinubu sọ nǹkan kan, àwọn náà tún lò nǹkan tó sọ nínú nǹkan tóun náà sọ. We refer to the following statement in his address. Tinubu ló sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn in tí wọ́n kò tí ọ̀rọ̀ tí Tinubu sọ. Only our administration ìyẹn ìjọba tó ń fẹ́ ṣe shall govern on your behalf but never rule over you. So Tinubu ò lè rule over us. Kò lè rule over us. Tinubu ní right láti govern in Nigeria, láti protect the Nigerians. But àwọn tí a sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe Nigeria mọ́, ó also ní right. Eh? Don't throw the big one. You have to cut it to pieces. So, our administration, ìyẹn Tinubu ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ nísìn, shall govern on your behalf, but never rule over you. Torí kò ń ṣe military dictatorship láwa. Sí nínú military dictator anymore. Tinubu is a civilian. Alágbádá ni Tinubu. Ẹja ambulance yẹn kọjá. Our administration shall govern on your behalf but never rule over you. We shall consult and take note of it. Only we shall consult and dialogue but never dictate. Níṣẹ́ ìdílé jáde tí Tinubu bá ti débẹ̀ máa lọ jókòó ní gbogbo no. Ó ti di dictator nìyẹn. òun náà dẹ̀ ti sọ níbí báyìí pé we shall consult tó bá sọ pé consult in tá à ń ṣe nísìn for now à ń consult ara wa consultation sọ̀rọ̀ síbí sọ̀rọ̀ sọ́hùn gbé síbí gbé sọ́hùn ṣó ṣe lọ báyìí ṣé kò ṣe lọ báyìí gbogbo yẹn òun là ń review ó wá ní we are going to dialogue ẹ rántí nǹkan mẹ́ta tí mo sọ fún wa mo ní a máa dialogue a máa engage and there will be civil disobedience mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta tó kù ta nídìí yẹn ẹ lọ wo program tí mo ṣe lánàá late night tá a ṣe lánàá mo ní nǹkan mẹ́ta péré ló kù 3% ló kù tá a fẹ́ fi gba Yorùbá nation àwọn kan ní ẹ kò ní wá in our lifetime mo ní ọ̀dọ̀ tí yín nìyẹn èmi máa witness Yorùbá nation níbi tèmi dé yìí èmi máa witness ẹ̀ tẹ́yìn bá náà yìí ní witness ẹ̀ bí àwọn ọmọ yín ló máa bá yín witness ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe pé anybody tó bá sọ pé Yorùbá nation kò ń ṣe tó lè wáyé nísìn ó máa wáyé nígbà táwa kan bá ti kú èyí lè máa kú èmi ò ní kú èmi máa witness ẹ̀ I'm only just 20 years old mo ṣe dàgbà ní ọ̀kadà tó pé 40 bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ó wà okay ìyá mi ó máa ń kàn sọ pé reseller ni because nígbà tí mo ṣe ń tajà lórí eBay nìyẹn so ìyẹn ni gbogbo reseller yẹn ṣe máa ń jáde lórí PayPal èmi náà mo ní kò sí nǹkan tó ní tẹ̀bá dẹ̀ ti send ẹ̀ máa send email sí yín láti fi ṣe pé yes àti receive ẹ̀ so the word reseller tó máa ń lò yẹn torí pé mo gbà kan ní some 15 years ago tí mo ní shop a máa ń tajà lórí eBay mo dẹ̀ máa ń rajà lórí ẹ̀ so I've been around for a while kọ́lọ́n kó túbọ̀ yẹ ká tètè dé so the issue pé àní consult we will consult Tinubu has also stated that during his inauguration address. Only we shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding their views. Ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ní agbára díẹ̀. Ó lágbára in the sense that pé ó rí pé problem yìí wà kóhun tó dé bí báyìí. Ṣé fi pé kò ní bá àwọn Nnamdi Kanu sọ̀rọ̀? Ó gbọ́dọ̀ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀ because as far as they're concerned, there will be the country will be in balance. Google process yẹn lè má wá straight away, but we must continue to dialogue and consult, and we can negotiate our way out. A lè má ní láti bára wa jà. That's still government. Government gbọ́dọ̀ determine ni. Màá dẹ̀ fún yín ní example. Government ní different views. Mo sọ nípa àwọn East Timorians. Ìdí tí government wọ́n ṣe lọ attack wọn nígbà tó declare ní 1974 because military ni níjọ́ náà lọ́hùn. Tinubu ò ń ṣe military. Civilian ni and as a civilian president ó mọ òfin pé òfin àgbáyé sọ pé òun tó wà ńbẹ̀ yẹn kò ń ṣe kù ní Tinubu fi débẹ̀ ni Tinubu ò lo kù tó fi débẹ̀ but ó lè lo brain ẹ̀ tó bá gbọ́n pé in tí gbogbo ìlú ń jà fún yìí òun ò fẹ́ tètè break ẹ̀ òun lè tó báyìí òun lè máa negotiate pẹ̀lú wa a lè máa dialogue títí tí kíní ẹ̀ máa fi bọ́ sí. Àwọn kan ní kò sí referendum clause nínú 1999 constitution we know that already but our stand no it's enough gbogbo biscuit mi lẹ́tí fi feed ẹ okay so gbogbo biscuit gbogbo pé àní dialogue yẹn irọ́ ni we go to dialogue ìyẹn máa ń dialogue pẹ̀lú government ni. Government ló máa ń pò kì í tẹ̀ ń dialogue yìí ṣó lè wáyé ní straight away àbí kò lè wáyé ọ̀nà wo ló máa gbà wáyé ìyẹn la máa discuss and any discussion between the government and the Yoruba nation people will be outside Nigeria kò ní jẹ́ nínú Nigeria. There's a lot of places that we can use. Look, Tinubu can set up his own committee okay gbogbo àwọn tó fẹ́ break Nigeria even though ó sọ pé òun ò fẹ́ break Nigeria but èyí tó ń sọ yẹn rọ́ ni. Different. I'm about to say money. Oh my, that's boss. Oh my, bankma. Oh, they my guerrilla warfare. But for now, we are not in that stage yet. We are still dialoguing. Mokia says, "How much if you biscuit barapata lot if I So, only we shall reach out to all, but never put down a single person for holding their views. Tinubu only hold the views me. Mo views Tinubu náà nígbà tó ń wà London after tabata pípa ṣèbí nǹkan ló turn around fún nísìnyí tó sọ pé and in tóun dẹ́n ṣe nísìnyí he's talking about his own ambition ẹ̀ ló wà after Tinubu is more about his ambition than the ambition of the Yoruba people. I am more concerned about the ambition of the Yoruba people than the ambition of Tinubu. That's the reason why we are different. That's why, I looked at him as, his own ambition is all about, his ambition here, only low, that if he favor Yoruba. No, it's not about Yoruba alone. The whole Nigeria itself is in danger. So, Yoruba, we, his kinsmen, say, thank you, Mr. President, for this typically Yoruba assurance. Baba Akintoye carry sibe, and he says, Professor Banji Akintoye, the leader and the chairman of the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement. So now, let me just review this letter a little bit. Review. So what I'm going to do, again, number, so that the pen you are. So I can number. So it is one relay. So that number 2 lele. Like I said, this letter will be on our website by the end of today. Like long 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 on the book. Because I'm going to print a computer and so 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So we'll go to 7 long. So now, now because mo rí lẹ́ẹ̀kan nígbà tí mo ń kà lọ tí mo fẹ́ sáré gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la máa deal pẹ̀lú gbogbo àti mọ̀ nípa reason tá fi lọ but ó ní kankan tí bàbá kọ sínú statement yìí màá dẹ̀ sọ bí tó wà ní ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí number 5. So ẹni tó bá láǹfààní àti print ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà l'Amẹ́ríkà àbí lẹ́yìn gbogbo àgbáyé àbí ní Nàìjíríà ẹ lọ print ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lè print ẹ̀ ẹ gbé sórí fóònù yín kẹ́ máa check it out. Tẹ́ bá lọ sí number 5 ìyẹn paragraph 2. It's okay. Paragraph 2.
Mr. Weedy.
What does it look like I'm doing? I'm busy. Don't disturb me, okay? You have
like 10 phones there.
Paragraph 2. Only against this background, we Yoruba remain fiercely convinced of the reality of the non-sustainability of the Nigerian state as a vehicle. Mọ́tò ní Nigeria. Pastor Tunde Bakari, bàbá yẹn ní òun lálà òun rí pé tí Buhari ló ń wa mọ́tò yẹn Buhari wá fẹ́ gbọ̀nsẹ̀ ó fẹ́ tọ̀ ó wá park sórí slope àwọn pé Buhari ò park mọ́tò yìí dáadáa káwọn park ẹ̀ kí gbogbo wọn má já wálẹ̀ fídíò yẹn wà lórí YouTube ẹ lọ wá no more. So vehicle Nigeria mo kí mọ́mí wa Tóyìn dáadáa mo fi tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ kí mà mo kí wọ́n yín tẹ́wà lórí program vehicle Nigeria ṣe mọ̀ pé kòròfo ló wà báyìí torí pé Túndé Bákàrì bàbá yẹn kan sọ ó nígbà tó wá bọ́ sórí steering pé kóun move mọ́tò yẹn lórí pé kò sí steering kò sí handbrake kò sí foot brake òun á wonder pé irú mọ́tò wo ni Buhari wà yìí. So every single one of them knows the truth that the country called Nigeria today, that vehicle to move Gbogbowa, that vehicle that is moving every single one of us, that vehicle is no longer sustainable. That vehicle is dead, but everybody is living in denial. Everybody in Nigeria is living in denial because that vehicle is dead. Remember, that vehicle is Kinimoso is dead, but everybody is living in denial. Position me, We're changing. No. So, vehicle Nigeria, right? Vehicle Nigeria, ó ti ṣe kíni? Vehicle yẹn has changed. And that is why we must now ask ourselves the truth. How much more can we tell lies in a country that the vehicle is no longer working for anybody? The vehicle of Nigeria has changed. The vehicle of Nigeria is no longer sustainable for so many of us. That vehicle has lost control. Only under page 5, paragraph 2. What? Okay. Paragraph 2. I'll repeat that part again. We're talking now about the vehicle of Nigeria. So if anybody still thinks that Nigeria as a vehicle is still going to perform the kind of activities, there are a lot of cars that are driving today here. I can see so many cars. Morning mekere, morning la, morning atigo ambulance, atigo buses don't law, at least every reflection here. Can I imagine pé some of these vehicles were serviced for the last 60 years? Do you think that that vehicle will perform iṣẹ́ tá fẹ́ kó ṣe? Iṣẹ́ tí wọ́n ní kí Nàìjíríà wá ṣe kò perform ẹ̀. Performance yẹn tí ó ti di fake. But ìdí tí ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn èèyàn wa tí wọ́n ti fẹ́ accept the truth kò ju pé they are thinking that the vehicle will change. Mo fẹ́ dìde ni àwọn kan ti wà ní lecture room báyìí. Ẹ gbọ́ mi yé. Nigerian vehicle has failed everyone, but as many people are living in denial. So we are all living in denial. The vehicle of Nigeria has failed. But how do we end this vehicle? Sink. Because if care is not taken, every single one of us are going to sink in this vehicle. We are in a vehicle that they are driving, and that vehicle has lost what it takes. I don't know why this one is dark. Can adjust the brightness. At least better there. So Nigerian vehicle tiku. That is what Baba Akintoye said in paragraph 2 of this particular statement. I'll read that part again. Baba Akintoye sọ pé, against this background, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá máa try láti ṣe àyàngbé fún ẹ díẹ̀. Ẹ má bínú sí Yorùbá mi kò dàbí ti àwọn kan manager. Ẹ má bínú. Everybody ma yeah. Once again, Muki Bubua. Yeah. Not yet. When we're going on. Sound machine. Okay, omi kan ṣì wà tó. We dey hold the phone yìí. Mo need omi tó ṣì full ni. Because we can't disturb the phone. Ṣé gbọ́n kan tí mo sọ? Vehicle Nigeria. Moto Nigeria. Okay, so now we need to start going. All right, let's start going then. Okay? All right, I just can't end the broadcast. Ká lọ ṣe tó kù tí bá délé. Mo ní láti máa mú ọmọ mi lọ́lé. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Have a very good afternoon. Tá bá délé, I continue níbi tí mo bá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn dé. Ilẹ̀ Oòduà gbé wa, kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀. Tó bá jẹ́ mi ní ọ̀dàlẹ̀ bẹ̀, kò gbọ́dọ̀ gbé mi rárá. Ànílejò bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ, ó dàbọ̀.